Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in the borough of Queens in New York City. From the beginning, his life seemed intertwined with ambition, status, and spectacle. Raised in a prosperous real estate family, Trump learned early that influence was built not just in boardrooms, but in headlines. His education at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania gave him formal grounding in finance, but it was his flair for self-branding that would define him. From real estate heir to public persona. After college, Trump joined his father's company, the Trump Organization. In the 1970s and 1980s, he began to take control of the business and expand it beyond Queens. Trump invested in luxury hotels, residential skyscrapers, office towers, and casinos in Atlantic City. These ventures brought both massive attention and significant financial risk. Some projects faltered and forced Trump to relinquish control of certain assets to creditors. But the setbacks never stopped him from remaining a public figure. The real twist in his public identity came in 2004 with The Apprentice, a reality TV show that turned Trump into a household name across America and beyond. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became emblematic of a persona rooted in ruthless confidence and self-made success, even when reality told a more complicated story. A political outsider turns presidential candidate. For years, Trump flirted with politics, publicly questioning immigration policy and trade deals. But it was in 2015 that he made the leap from celebrity businessman to presidential candidate, running for the Republican nomination with a message that resonated with many Americans who felt left behind by globalization and political elites. His slogan, "Make America Great Again," became a rallying cry for millions. Against expectations, Trump won the Republican nomination and then defeated former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in the 2016 general election. His victory was one of the biggest political upsets in modern U.S. history. As the 45th President of the United States, Trump championed policies focused on tax cuts, deregulation, immigration restrictions, and conservative judicial appointments. A presidency marked by turbulence and impeachments. Trump's first term was anything but ordinary. He was the first U.S. president to be impeached twice. First in 2019 over allegations of withholding aid to Ukraine, and a second time in 2021 after the January 6 Capitol attack, in which a violent mob of his supporters breached the U.S. Capitol as Congress worked to certify the 2020 election results. Trump was acquitted both times by the Senate, but his legacy became deeply entwined with the polarization of American politics. After losing the 2020 election to Joe Biden, Trump refused to concede while continuing to insist, without credible evidence, that the election was marred by widespread fraud. Those claims culminated in the Capitol riot, an event that shocked the nation and reverberated worldwide. Legal battles and a return to power. Even out of office, Trump's life remained entangled with legal scrutiny. Special counsel investigations and FBI inquiries examined allegations about his attempt to overturn the 2020 election and his handling of classified documents after leaving office. He faced federal charges related to these matters, reflecting an unprecedented moment in U.S. legal and political history where a former president was under criminal indictment. Yet despite these legal battles, Trump staged a remarkable political comeback. In the 2024 election, he secured the Republican nomination and went on to defeat Democrat Kamala Harris in the general election. On January 20th, 2025, he was inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States, becoming the first president since Grover Cleveland to serve non-consecutive terms. His second inauguration took place inside the U.S. Capitol due to frigid temperatures, marking a historic moment in American politics. The second presidency, aggressive change and deep division. Trump's second presidency was defined by rapid and sweeping policy actions. In his first year alone, he issued hundreds of executive orders, over 200 by January 2026, as part of an effort to reshape government functions and pursue an assertive policy agenda. These actions spanned immigration, trade, federal workforce restructuring, and regulatory rollbacks. One of his most controversial initiatives was a hardline immigration crackdown, involving the deportation of hundreds of thousands of individuals and stripping legal status from large numbers of migrants, which generated both strong support from his base and widespread backlash from critics concerned about civil liberties and humanitarian impacts. Internationally, Trump's administration took a more aggressive stance, authorizing air and drone strikes in multiple countries and imposing broad tariffs that reshaped global trade flows, with significant economic implications. Critics accuse the administration of eroding environmental protections, reversing climate policies, and withdrawing from international agreements. Domestically, the federal government experienced cuts to agencies and programs, including the elimination of diversity, equity, and inclusion offices and reductions in federal employment. Controversy, cultural backlash, and legal battles. By early 2026, Trump faced growing cultural and political pushback over his policies, particularly on immigration enforcement. High-profile incidents like the fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen during a federal operation fueled protests and criticism from figures across business, entertainment, and sports, illustrating the deep societal divisions surrounding his leadership. Trump also pursued aggressive legal strategies against media organizations that he believed had defamed him, filing numerous lawsuits, which raised broader concerns about press freedom and the balance between public figures and journalism. In addition to governance controversies, Trump and his family initiated a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS and Treasury Department, claiming reputational and financial damage after a former IRS contractor leaked his federal tax information. This represented an unusual legal fight between a sitting president and parts of the federal government. Personal life and public image. Trump's personal life, always a subject of public fascination, has been marked by high-profile marriages and family involvement in business and politics. He has been married 3 times and has 5 children, including Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, who have often played roles in his business ventures and political campaigns. His public image is one of the most polarizing in modern American history, beloved by loyal supporters for his direct style and focus on national sovereignty, and vehemently opposed by critics who view his rhetoric and policies as divisive. This duality is central to understanding Trump's enduring influence on U.S. and global politics. Legacy and the future. As of January 30th, 2026, Donald Trump's legacy is still being written, a complex tapestry of business triumphs, political upheaval, legal battles, and transformative policy decisions. Whether seen as a champion of a movement or a figure of controversy, his impact on the political landscape is undeniable. His story reflects a broader era of American life defined by polarization, media spectacle, and the reshaping of institutional norms.